This is just a routine that I kind of came up with. It lends to a more lighter approach to makeup. It's more glowy, it's more dewy. Wash my face. So what I'm going to do is a little bit of rose water, and these things are very inexpensive, mixed with a little bit of glycerin. And this is what I use as a bit of a toner on my skin, and I just get a cotton pad and just lightly pick up a little bit of the glycerin and just pick up a little bit of the rose water. Just go over areas where I may have a tendency to maybe get a little bit dry or a little bit flaky. What I would normally use is a little bit of this Clean and Clear Morning Glow moisturizer, and I'm still going to use a little bit because this actually helps help us with the look that we're after today, which is that glowy, dewy type of look. Now, glowy and dewy does not translate into being oily and greasy. There's a fine line, so that's where I think that's why I'm thinking I'm doing this video to help you with that distinction. Good. So once we've done that, now what I'm going to do is use my liquid foundation, and I'm just using my Revlon Color Stay liquid foundation. Because this is a very natural look, I'm actually going to thin it down. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of that moisturizer again on my hand, and I'm going to pour out a little bit of the foundation onto my hand. So I'm just going to use my fingers and kind of blend the two together, and I'm essentially creating a tinted moisturizer. No, I'm not applying this very heavily at all. In fact, I'm only like dotting my face very lightly, and I'm not using much product. In fact, most of the product is remaining here. So I'm just going to rub this on my face just like I would a regular moisturizer. You really want to blend this out. And all this is going to do, the whole purpose of having this is to give you a little bit of an even skin tone. I want you to cover your eyelids as well, all the way up to your brow bone. One thing about this look though is, I wouldn't say it's only for perfect skin, because obviously you're looking at me and I know that you can see that I have a few pimples, I have freckles, I have scars. But it's not really for people who are very, very much acne prone, or who have an active acne breakout. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it's not a look that gives a lot of coverage. So if you know you're conscious of that, me, I could care less. Zit or not zit, I really don't care. I prefer to look very natural and look like me. Once that's done, I go in with my concealer brush, and I'm using a lot of very inexpensive products today. I'm only using 2 brushes today, and that is my e.l.f. stippling brush, and this is my e.l.f. concealer brush. So I'm just picking up my e.l.f. This is my complete coverage concealer. So I'm just picking up the shade that would closely match me. And I know it sounds kind of crazy because we're always hearing you need to get a concealer that's at least a tone or 2 lighter than your actual skin color. And most of the time that can work, but for this particular tutorial I'm saying no. And that's because if you go 1 or 2 shades lighter and you've had a very light application of foundation, you're going to see that distinction between this very light shade of concealer and little to no coverage on your face. So try to stick to something that is your skin tone, and that's why I love these palettes, because you actually get a lot of different colors that you can play with. Right, so what I've done here is just picked up a little bit on my concealer brush, and I'm just going in and concealing anywhere very, very lightly, like my dark circles. I'm just using the brush to blend this out. There's no reason you can't use your finger for this. And I have some darkness just under the chin and around my mouth. And anywhere you see like little spots that were not really covered by the foundation itself, you can just go ahead and apply a little bit of concealer to each individual spot. be sure to give it a good blend. e.l.f. shimmering facial whip, and this is what it looks like. And this is in golden peach, and this color is a color that I think will work for a lot of people, dark, fair alike. Unless you're like super Caucasian, then maybe you should stay away from it. And what I do is I just take a little bit of the product, put it out in the back of my hand, and just give it a few taps, because sometimes it may tend to separate just a little bit. And this way I get the right consistency. So I pick up, tap it with my finger, and just start placing this on the areas where I would naturally have a glow, natural light areas, areas where light would naturally reflect. And those are usually like along the nose bridge. So what I do is I just give a light tap and then use a different finger and just blend it out. And then right along the highlight area here, just above the cheek, and just slightly on the apples of my cheeks. Again, you don't want to apply too much of this, because then you tend to look like a disco ball, and that's definitely what we don't want. Again, on the other cheek, just tap a little bit on, and you want to stay on this like high ridge and avoid like the entire cheek, because then you tend to look greasy. Good. So I'm just blend that out again using another finger. You want to hit a little bit on the chin, just a little bit, and then I normally like run this right along my cupid's bow, and that actually makes your lips look much more full. And the last place I would probably do this is like right along, just in the middle a little bit, and just along the high points, just above the arch of my brows. Again, blending it out as I go. So the next product that I'm going to use is actually kind of like an all-in-one product, and this, I got this from Avon, and it's called a Tint and Go for cheeks and lips. You can use a cream blush, you can even use a lipstick. And what this is, it's essentially just a product that looks like a big fat lipstick. It has the consistency of lipstick, and it's essentially a cream, and it can be used for like cheeks and eyes and lips, and just to add color generally. So what I would normally do is just to pick up a little bit again on my fingers, and just place like a little bit of a tap on the apples of my cheeks, and just lightly blend back. Again, this gives a very subtle glow. It looks rosy, gorgeous, gives you a little bit of a color to the cheek. So this is pretty good. I know e.l.f. has some really great cream blushes. I have yet to get my hands on those, which is why I'm still stuck using that one product. Take a eyeliner, and any black eyeliner would do, and what we're going to do is line the under lid area, and that's usually called the tight line. I know it looks kind of freaky, but if you just pull back like this, you can actually line under there. And when you do this, it really emphasizes your lashes, and it makes them look super thick. And so what this does is it actually emphasizes your lashes. It makes the roots of your lashes look super thick and black, and that in turn emphasizes your lashes themselves. What you could also do with this, and this is what I normally do, is I actually take the liner and color a bit on the actual roots of the lashes. It does not deposit like a lot of color, and you definitely want to use like a a soft liner for this. Something that's really soft and blendable. It's going to give off just a little hint of color to that lash line. And what I'm going to do as well is pick up something in sort of a peachy, nothing that has glitter, but something with a little bit of a shimmer to it. And this is Almay's Pure Blend eyeshadows, and this is an apricot. This is what it looks like. You can use a gold, you can use a beige. Just pick up a little bit on my finger, and I'm just gonna pop a little bit on the inner tear duct of the eye. Again, this reflects light, makes your eyes look much more wider and fresh and awake. I'm just gonna pop just a little bit up underneath the brow bone, just a little bit on the center of that lid. Like a little bit of definition. I'm actually just going back in with that same concealer brush, and because there's a nice flat edge here, I'm just picking up a little bit of the eyeliner on that brush and just running it along the lower lash line. Again, just to give a little bit of definition. I'm actually not lining the waterline. We use a lip liner, and this is actually a clean color lip liner, and this is a natural. You want to use something that's very close to your lip tone. Line your entire lip and fill it in. Now, natural looks, your lips are not naturally glossy, they're matte, and when you use like a flesh toned lip product, it actually accentuates it, makes it much more fuller, makes it much more sensual. For those of you who cannot go with anything, a good alternative to this is actually using something that's a little more nude with a little bit of shine shade, and this is e.l.f.'s lip gloss in Mauve. And what I would suggest is not putting it all over the entire lip, and just patting it in the center, like on the fullest parts of your lip. And again, this is going to make your lips just fuller, poutier, sexy. I just have a spoolie. You could use clear mascara for this. It works great for brows. And all I do is I'm brushing my hair into place. Eyebrows, sorry. Just brush them into place. You can use a clear brow gel or even a clear mascara to just set them in place. And I would use this spoolie to kind of comb through my lashes, just to have them standing up. Okay, so that's about it. And the very last step that we're going to do is actually use, this is my e.l.f. Complexion Perfection, and this is a powder that looks like this. Don't let it scare you. The different colors have actual uses with skin tone and making and brightening up your skin tone. And what this does is it gets rid of redness, it gets rid of the look of blue circles, it gets rid of sallow skin or very dull looking skin, and it just works all together to give you a fresh glow. And the reason I'm using this, and you'll see me not use this all over the entire face, this actually just sets the entire look, and I'm using my stipler for this, and I'm just swirling into all of the colors and just tapping off a little bit. And I'm going into areas where I tend to get a bit shiny. And one thing you want to avoid doing, you want to set all your cream products first to begin with. So everywhere we've had any sort of a cream product, you just use this very lightly and go over it. But you don't want to do too much, because then we take away that dewiness that we were going after. And that is it for our fresh, dewy look. I hope that you guys like it. It's very fresh, very natural. Obviously I've taken a long time to do it, but I've been explaining it along the way, and when I usually do it at home, it usually takes me like no more than 10 minutes to throw this together. So hope you guys like it.